Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tyranny with me, Bring It On. So I don't think I've read the Edict of Stone yet. I know I went over the effects of it, but I haven't read the actual description. Tremors and earthquakes plague the region. Periodic rumbles and shifting cause characters to fall prone in combat. All characters have stone magic skill increased. The party gains an increase to prone defense, while foes have prone durations increased. It says that, but I don't see where it indicates where I have increased prone defense. I mean, whatever, I'll take it. Alright, so before I go to the Spire, I am going to swing by Iron Hearth and speak to Graven Ash. Because I plan on grabbing Ebb to help take the Spire, since there's probably going to be Bane inside. And that's kind of her whole thing. If Graven Ash didn't like me having Verse in my party, he's not going to like having Ebb, since she's still a rebel. Verse, at least, is still, I think, loyal to Kyros. Mostly, anyway. Then again, Graven Ash might respect the fact that I brought a Tidecaster. Or I'm using a Tidecaster, because he did the same thing with the Earthshakers. Kind of. I mean, it was just their Archon that rebelled. But he's still utilizing that asset in Kyros' name, so... There's a parallel there somewhere. Fatebinder. Breaking edicts has become something of a specialty for you, hasn't it? Before long, Kyros may rely on these cleanup efforts of yours. Yeah, here's to hoping Kyros never has to cast another edict. Wishful thinking, but you're not wrong to desire it. I fear that dissidence will ever be a problem in Kyros' hierarchy, and that we have not seen the last of the Overlord's edicts. I don't mean to marginalize your efforts. What you've accomplished in a short time is impressive, but don't forget that you're a vassal of greater powers, and should remember your place. What does it require? I made contact with Kyros and Radix. A quarrelsome pair, but I do like to see family moving against the enemy together. Their bonds are more reliable than any number of like-minded countrymen. What do you have to report? Radix and Kyros have a plan to use Cairn's essence to blight the region. They want your go-ahead. Radix wants my go-ahead. I was worried he was the sort to abuse the significant position I gave him, so it's pleasing to see him show due deference. The General taps his chin, examining you slowly. And what would you say? If this were your decision, would you approve? Depends. How much do you trust the Earthshakers? The Archon lets out a long sigh, furrowing his brow. I'd be a fool not to suspect that Cairn's treachery was contagious. But in truth, since the Archon's passing, the Earthshakers' only sins have been disorganization and lethargy. Such things tend to happen when leadership changes. So to your question, I would say my sense of trust is cautious at best. The question still stands. Do you approve of this plan? Yeah, we do want to slay Cairn, but I don't necessarily want to blight the land either. Yes. Slaying Cairn is following Kyros' commandment, and if the Earthshakers are right, their plan will render the land barren, starving the course. I concur. The Edict of Stone makes Kyros' opinion on this matter crystal clear. The Overlord wants Cairn dead, so it's our duty to help slay him. You're wise to bring this to my attention. The Archons fall under Kyros' jurisdiction, and that includes what remains they leave behind. We're fortunate that Kyros wished the Archon of Stone destroyed. I believe this offers us the freedom to dispense with his corpse, however we see fit. Tell my forces they have approval to carry out their plan. I'd see the voice of Nerat and his howling mob starve to the point of cannibalism, if that would deplete their numbers. Okay, didn't mean to click on him.
Right.
Hey, we got a new ability with, Kills in Shadow. Shadowhunter's Cloud. Kills and Shadow receives energy from the Fate Binder and then begins pounding her fist into the earth. Thick clouds of dust obscure the battlefield, blinding enemies. As Kills and Shadow strikes the earth, foes in the area are damaged, knocked into the air, and fall prone. Okay.
On it.
So she's not my biggest fan right now, that's okay. I don't really care. I've got a job to do. I'm not here to make friends. If I do, great. But if I don't, that's also okay. The only friend I need is Lantry. So he seems to be just simply okay with everything that I do. He doesn't really seem to have an opinion one way or the other. I'm no longer blasted by the endless winds of the Edict of Storms. The Blade Grave seems an endless expanse of twisted metal spines, rough-hewn cliffsides. Life is yet to return to Stalwart. You hear no birds and glimpse no rodents. But today you make out a billowing cloud of brightly shimmering movement. It's a few hundred feet away still, but moving down the ravine towards you. You identify the cloud. For a moment you think some kind of massive bane, a huge creature of roiling arcane malice. But then you realize it's not a single entity. You search your mind for the story's tears fauna when you recall the chrysalis, winged insects that travel in swarms. The chrysalis are pests, known to burrow into trees, ships, and homes to lay their eggs. Considering the massive deforestation of Stalwart by the Edict of Storms, one wonders what this swarm has been eating these days. Yeah, do subterfuge. Find a nearby cave to hide in. The worm slowly approaching. You search out one of the caves that riddles the sides of the ravine. Carved from stone by Kyros' incessant winds, the walls of the narrow fissure rise and fall like the waves of a frozen sea. You work your way carefully among the rocks as the baleful buzz crescendos. Through the gap behind you, you make out a turbid fog of shining carapaces. A few insects break from the swarm, alighting on the stone near you. Their wings boast symmetrical pearlescent swirls, and their mandibles, sharp enough to shear through wood, chitter in mesmerizing syncopation. But it feels like the better part of an hour. The last of the insects vanishes, leaving you alone in the ravine, the song of the swarm still humming in your ears. Plus 5% precision. Well, good, we didn't get eaten by a swarm. That's always a pleasure. Let's buy some hide. How did I click on that? Okay, whatever. To the Sunset Spire. Alright, so we got Zeal. It's only fine quality. That's stupid. Alright, let's make something else. I guess it's time to make sense. I don't have enough bronze. Never mind. I guess it's time to make the enchanted cloth slippers for 8 hide. Alright, then to the Ocean Spire. So we still have plenty of research to do. I assume we still have more of the Silent Archive research to do. So Dire Remedy, we got another recipe for the infirmary. Let's go do the shield plans, I guess. Just get those knocked out. Alright, then while we're here, let's go ahead and grab Ebb.
What is it you need? Of course.
We'll wait for a short while.
Alright, she leveled up. 3 times. Awesome. Let's give her more resolve and... yeah, let's put it all into runic barrier. So now she has +6 armor while wearing all light armor. Let's make sure that it's in effect. It doesn't say. She's wearing all light armor though, right? Light armor. Light armor. Yeah, it's all light, so she should be getting the bonus. It doesn't show it here. Well, that's okay. Alright, back to Howling Rock. I guess we'll deal with Cairn first, and then we'll deal with the Spire.
Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
Wait, how do I get over there? Oh, over here. One of these ways. I should probably update Eb's magic. That's too time consuming. I'll deal with it off camera if I get a chance. Let's speak to Radix. Sir, this favorite officer tips his head to you in greeting. What's the order from Ash? As you can see, the commander is raring to go. The Iron Guard stares at the both of you without moving, utterly austere and unamused. Baby brother does not understand the notion of patience. A mountain cannot be moved by force, though try as he might. He sighs and claps his hands behind his back. But yes, I too would know of our plans. Ash has issued the order to extract Cairn's energy and use it to permanently destroy the land, or to commence immediately. A brutal and effective tactic. At least it promises to dwindle down the enemy through starvation. It might still be more than the course deserves. Not to question the Archon's will, it strikes me as warlike, but unbecoming of the disfavored. A fair point worth considering. We're here to follow orders. True enough. I don't mean to cast doubt on the mission, but let this serve as a reminder that the work of perfecting our methods is never finished, even in total obedience. Good. And it is as we expected. Well, I didn't really see another choice. It's either kill Cairn or don't. And we need to kill him to lift the edict. Good. Then it is as we expected. I've seen to the initial preparations. As I have informed Kyros, we will commence when the Tellurian alignment is ideal for inducing a peak tectonic paroxysm, and not a span sooner. Lieutenant scrubs a palm down the front of his breastplate. See? Unbridled and raring to go. There's no way the enemy will get the drop on us first. However, Radix continues, ignoring his brother's exasperated interjection. There's imperative matter remaining that we must attend to before the ritual can begin. I deployed a drove of Earthshakers to excavate required Azulith loads from the neighboring region of Gulfglow. Problem is, they haven't hightailed it back yet, or dispatched a missive. If they're excavating Azulith, then it's likely they ran into problems with the beastmen. Perceptive of you to think so. Beasts are powerful fighters, but unpredictable to our kind. One of the many reasons why Ash doesn't let them anywhere near the Legion. I felt discordant tremors resonating from Gulfglow. I fear the tribe that first welcomed us as brethren of Cairn, now wish only to battle the land with our blood, or bathe the land with our blood. Their primitive attunement to the terrene arcanum of this region is pitiable. They should be begging us to teach them of our ways. Yet, instead, they seek to lay claim to our Archon and scrabble to prevent us from utilizing the abundant Azulith of this realm. He stomps on the ground hard enough that a crevice splits between him and Kyros, causing the lieutenant to cautiously ease back. One day, I'll crush the savages beneath the very stones they worship. You can count on me to help. The brothers share a look. Erratics once more falls stoic. Without the Azulith to amplify Cairn's remaining energy, transmuting it into a miasmic substance would be pointless. The area of effect would be unavailingly minimal. You need a cup to hold a liquid. Makes sense. If the liquid in question is the volatile essence of a slowly dying Archon, known for his near indestructible nature, well, stands to reason you best use the sturdiest goblet you can find. You have my word that I'll do my best to aid the Earthshakers and retrieve the Azulith nodes, or loads. Sir, the lieutenant salutes you with the resounding clang of his fist against his chest. Don't be long, and don't die on us. Well, don't worry, I don't plan on dying. Have this powerful thing called the F8 key. Allows me to undo any harm that may have befallen my body. Interesting rune. The sunken relief, though heavily damaged, is clearly meant to depict a runic symbol similar to the one you saw at Ascension Hall. The relief is incomplete, thus the final form of the rune is unknown. Make a charcoal rubbing of the relief's shape to help discern the rune's design. Pressing charcoal to parchment, you capture a blurry but proportionate image of the ancient relief. Though the drawn rune remains incomplete, it seems likely that the completed design is symmetrical in nature. Should the need arise, you can reasonably guess at its original shape.
If I had a copper ring for every glyph I've sketched today.
Let's do it once around, make sure there's no hidden nodes in here. Oh, what is this? Brilliant flames cast an emerald light on the walls. How they got that color and why they don't burn out is a mystery. Just like you and me. The Aurora Spire. Which one is which? I think we're at the Dawning Spire. Wonder where I find the rest of it at. So we can't do this yet. I mean, I can probably guess based on what I see on the rubbing, but may as well wait for the full thing. So I guess for now we can go to Gulf Glow. Probably a person standing there. Yeah. Look like a Bane corpse on the ground or something. It's a really faint particle effect. Oh, the Aurora Spire is right there. Interesting. Okay. Then Gulf Glow Old Walls. The deep chasms along the Stone Sea's northern border mark the extent of the Edict of Stone's reach. Gulf Glow is a well-known part of this border, both due to its proximity to the Aurora Spire and the abundance of azulith emerging from the rock. Travelers claim that, when the sun is directly overhead, you can see the shimmer of 1,000 azulith crystals cascading down into the depths below. It has since come under beastmen control, and is widely avoided. These two spires like side by side up here. That's weird. Wonder if I'm gonna have to choose between the two of them because they're so close. Lycon and Basilin. These beautiful purple crystalline formations are a common sight in the Stone Sea. Oh no, Fatebinder. I've done my duty. You can't drag me back there. Who are you? Why do you think I would drag you somewhere? He falters mid-step, stumbling on a smattering of loose stones. You're an officer of the court, aren't you? Look, I know I'm breaking my work order with the Earthshakers, but it's not like we made it a real legal contract or nothing. I swear, it was just a handshake. You've got to believe me, please. It's not safe here. It's the beastmen. They've gone feral. They're trying to slaughter me along with those darn Earthshakers. I don't want to die. You've got to let me flee. You're safe for now, so tell me what happened. After the sea split, I thought I'd make a living by mapping the land. I know the area well enough now, so the Earthshakers hired me to guide them. They were looking for some kind of precious stone. But the Stone Stalkers seemed to have other plans. When we got further in, they were already there, guarding the shards. One of the beasts nipped at an Earthshaker, so I fled. I've done my job, Fatebinder. Getting ripped to shreds isn't part of it. A Fatebinder. The Earthshaker pounds his chest once in salute. He casts a sideways glance to Lycon before speaking. Ignore this coward, and allow me to enlighten you on our situation. I assume you've come to aid us. Well, you don't need me with the Fatebinder here. You two want to go at it with the beastmen. It's your funeral. I'm out of here. Can I go north here? Kind of.
Sorry, I can't.
Alright, Basilon, what's going on? You've impeccable timing, as we seem to have entangled ourselves in a rather bloody rumble with the beastmen. Radix feared you may have been felled by the beasts of this region. Have you the azureth needed for the ritual? Some, but not nearly enough. We'll need several more of the purest classification if we're to successfully amplify the phase velocity of Cairn's remaining energy during the ritual. We hired a local scavenger to show us where he had seen a high concentration of crystal loads. Thus he led us here. At first the beastmen were amenable to our requests, but shortly after our excavations began, they became wrought with anger. Apparently we're stealing from their ancestors, or some such foolery. There's what appears to be a leader among them, Red Fang, but she retreated into the spire before I could bring her to reason. Now we're trapped in a vicious standoff. I'm hesitant on how to proceed. Yeah, we don't have time for diplomacy. I'll kill them so that we may harvest the azureth freely. If they won't listen to reason, what else can we do? We can't perform the ritual without the lodestones, which means I can't return to Master Radix without a sufficient supply. Well, he's already hostile, so screw it. Where's he running to?
Right.
Oh, this turned into an all-out war. Okay. I wasn't expecting all this. Can't even get to these guys because all my allies are in the way.
Consider it done.
Not a problem.
Let the land
Spotted something. Grovel before me!
Pray you.
This is an interesting dilemma we found ourselves in. Things ramped up really fast, so. Alright, let's Sunder and Thrust. They didn't have time to buff. I didn't want to risk not getting in on the action.
Pray you. Clumsy shit. Focus.
Alright. Far below lies the Stone Sea. Gulfglow Old Walls is a fraction of its previous landmass. Only spires of terrain remain after the great earthquakes.
Sorry, I can't.
Alright, some more azureth. I'm not going to read that description anymore, because we see it a lot. Rocky wall. A rope cascades down this rock wall, providing assistance for an otherwise unclimbable surface. Use the rocks jutting out from the cliff face to pull yourself up.
Huh.
Alright, some more Azurlith. Longclaw's Rage. Two-handed weapon, let's see. Explosive and weapon crit, damage 1935 fire versus dodge at a radius of 2 meters. This axe trembles with pent-up aggression. When swung in a wide arc, trails of heat and wisps of smoke follow in its wake. Well, let's see how it looks. That sounds really cool. Well, one, I like the way he holds this axe a lot more than he holds the other axes. Like, you're not going to burn yourself out.
This will be fun.
I mean, it makes sense to hold it like this when you're swinging it, so you get more oomph behind it. But holding it like that all the time is exhausting. It doesn't make for a very good defensive posture. Where here, it's easier. Because typically with weapons with like a heavy head like an axe or hammer, you defend with the pommel, not with the head. So if you're holding it at the tip of the pommel like this, you can't defend yourself. And again, like the weight there, I mean, you won't burn out this hand as much, but this one right here is gonna get tired holding up the heft of the, the head of the axe and stuff. Now that I think my character minds, but he's rocking 142 athletics, so he's a fit cookie. So you can read that. Treasure hunters frequent these sections of the Stone Sea, hoping for a chance at finding increasingly scarce artifacts and forgotten stores of valuables. Now, I'm not claiming to be like a expert axe fighter or anything like that, just based off what I do know. I could be mistaken, so. Alright, let's get some proper buffs out this time.
Will do.
Send them out and be afraid.
Alright. Body buff up. We'll cut these two down and apply finish up here in the next one.
I will aid you.
Whatever you need.
Right.
Finish casting my buffs. What am I doing? Alright, then she has, let's see. Electric jolts. So I can't hit both of them. If I move back, maybe I can?
No.
Let me hit both of these guys. She missed. I think she's missing a spell. Yeah, she's missing 2 spells. That explains it. I thought she had more spells. Alright, I guess we'll just use that followed by... I guess we can see if this hits everybody. Yeah, she's missing her Thunder Ball. No, that's Ball Lightning right here. Never mind. We're in the
As you
good, or in the
wish.
clear, not in the good.
That one.
Whatever I'm trying to say.
As you command.
Alright, Sunder and Thrust.
Can't do it.
I didn't need all these buffs, there's only 2. I assume more were gonna come running. But I guess they're inside the spire.
Before me.
Cliff face. This rock surface here is relatively stable and looks like it may be climbed. Let's do it. Alright, some more Azerlith. So I wonder if we're going to use that for the ritual ourselves, or if we can. So also, I'm not interested in spreading a miasma across the land to starve out the course. I think that's stupid.
Sorry, I can't.
But I do want to kill Cairn to lift the edict. So I'm wondering if there's a way we're going to be able to do that without permanently damaging the land in a different way. That's my preferred course of action. Broken Maw. So weapon crit, bleeding for 13.8 seconds. This push dagger is carved from the jaws of the sawtooth vial, a disagreeable sea creature dredged from the lightless depths. Though sanded down to fit a rudimentary handle, nothing has been done to accentuate the serrated edge. More unique stuff. Neat. What's up here?
Huh. Look at that.
Can't do that.
Alright, cool. Alright, I'm going to call the episode here. Off camera, I'm going to update Eb's magic, and then in the next one we'll head inside and deal with the rest of the beastmen here who are preventing the Earthshakers from doing what they have to do. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys in the next one.